Here. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session. Today's just a 1 hour overview. We're going to be talking about open houses and just multiplying your certainty. This is a playbook right from Tom Ferry's coaching group that I've been belonged to for a long time. And so some of the other coaches, we have stuff that we share and stuff like that. So one of the group members did share this. And this comes from Stephanie Younger, who is a coach client from Tom Ferry's group. Stephanie's out of LA. She's got a huge team. Her average price point in her area is 1.2 million at the time, anyway. Years in business. This is from last year, so from 2024, and she's been in the business 22 years. Her team did 221 transactions. Sales volume is 338 million in sales. GCI 8.2. So obviously a high price point area, LA is very expensive, but having 221 transactions obviously creates, a huge amount. In 2024, Q1, she was already at 51 transactions and at 73.5 million. That's 1.8 million GCI. A lot of money. Okay, so by the numbers, she has 35 people on her team. So it's a big team. They did 587 open houses in 2023. 14% of the 2023 business attributed from open houses, which is pretty close to that national average. Why I'm giving you these numbers and this to humble brag or anything like that. It's about breaking things down a little bit more. Contracts obtained from open houses. It says 16,156. Contacts, not contracts. So total contacts from all of those is 16,156. You're like, wow, that's a lot. Those aren't just visitors. So it's going to break down more. 5% of leads per contacts obtained in 2023. 5% is the conversion rate of viable open house leads. So that means they're converting 5% of their traffic. National average is actually way lower. It's only about a 2 to 3%. So they're above the average, but there's things that they're doing that we're going to kind of dive into on why they're getting more. 4 to 5 months, and this is still true. This falls true to the national average. 4 to 5 months is the average lead generation time to close someone from an open house lead. 4 to 5 months. Does anyone know what the average lead time is sourced from an online lead? You guys know? Year, I hear. Zoom people, you can unmute. How long? No. So online leads are anywhere from 8 to 12 months. That's what they say. So NAR's average. 3 hours is the normal length of time for each of the open houses they did. How many hours are you guys doing right now on average? 2? 2. So they were doing 3-hour shifts for the opens. Oh, you do 3?
Yes, 3 hours.
4 hours spent per open house to set up, breakdown, and public time. So why open houses? Open houses are like merchandise displays. Every open house means your store is open for business, and the more your store is open, the more leads you get. So their philosophy is the more names you leave with, the better. get everyone to sign in, and of course, make the experience something worth remembering. That's their main goals. So when Stephanie first did her research on to assess the efficacy, sorry, I can't read this morning, of open houses, it provoked an interesting question. The question, would it be worthwhile to do open houses 2 days in a row over the weekend to create more exposure and opportunities, or would this make the open house field less attended? The test, do a number of 2-day open houses, weekends, and track the response. The results, the attendance was even better for both days. Buyers who were really interested had an opportunity to visit the home multiple times, increasing their certainty and decreasing escrow cancellations. So since the NAR settlement, open houses are the only way you can show a property without a written agreement. Make open houses your new office. You can't overdo it on open houses. The more you do, the more the benefits multiply. So I'm going to share my screen. These are the highlight notes from Stephanie's program. Here, what is that? All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. So, okay, so why open houses? They act like a storefront for your business, create consistent lead flow with minimal costs, multiple touch points with buyers and neighbors, and of course, it builds trust and familiarity in the local market. For those of you guys that are doing opens right now, are you concentrating in an area, or are you just going where the new listing is?
Trying to stay in the same area.
You're trying to stay in that area. Why would you do that, Levin?
They get used, it's kind of like a billboard effect. They see you in the same location all the time and you're trying to master
Yeah.
being the agent of choice in that particular neighborhood or area.
Yeah, you end up keep going to the same ones, you know, in an area. Buyers, they're gonna go visit the same, you know, all the properties that they can see in that area, in different price points, different sizes, different things. But yeah, if they just keep seeing you, you're automatically establishing yourself as the neighborhood expert, because oh, Levin's obviously always in this area. So, you know, it's that thing, like when you keep seeing the same buyers, you're building a strong foundation that you know that area and that you're constantly in that area. I know you've pulled plenty of people from open houses for your own business. Has anyone else had the same experience where you're bumping into the same buyers? Eric, what about you now that you're doing a lot more? Are you getting to see the same buyers at different houses? Yeah.
I try to stay in the same area, like you said.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, I was just like, I'd go to like all the way north. I was basically jumping from one county all over the place.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of just trying to hone in one specific area. And I can relate to them, like, oh, I live here. I'm actually like seeing the people at open houses. I'll see them at the gym now. Like,
Oh, no way.
that's pretty cool, yeah. So I'll just wave at them, and
Yeah.
it's just nice to bump just to see people at open house, and then I'm seeing them at like Aliberto's or at the gym. Aliberto's or the gym.
That's cool.
Yeah, Aliberto's or the gym.
That's cool. Yeah, if you're spreading out, you're going to too far of areas and you're just hitting the new opens. I understand like you want to get to the freshest listing, right? Brand new listings on the market are where you tend to get the highest amount of activity because of the backlog of buyers, you know, right? They first hone in on that the fresh listings are like fresh produce. They don't want the stale stuff. They want like the new stuff that's on. So they're always, pushing for that. But you got to really watch your time and make sure you're not wasting it and going way too far apart. If you're not going to like keep showing up in the same areas, it's going to be really hard to establish that neighborhood expert if you're just jumping around too far apart. So Stephanie's open houses, she did 587 open houses in 2023, 5% conversion rate from the viable leads, and over 16,000 contacts collected. Average lead generation again is 4 to 5 months. So there's some fill in the sheet or fill in the blank sheets. So keep an eye on those for you guys. Set up and expectations, arrive 1 hour early and prepare the home. Professional attire, treat as a job interview, don't sit, eat, or use your phone. Those are the ones like, honestly, if this was Redfin, this is about, if you go into any Redfin open house, I promise you, you will see them doing not one of those things, but probably all three. They'll probably eating, on the phone, and sitting. Oh, come on in. I seriously go if you haven't gone to go look at some Redfin open houses. So do not do those things, obviously. You know, it's tough. I know sometimes you're balancing your time and trying to do everything you can, but showing up early too is like, it's critical. How many times have you guys showed up and there's already cars waiting? Every hand in the room. So it's obvious that they know, right? It's gonna be open, they're, you know. So you pretty much can expect that, but if you are not there early, you're late. And you're missing out on those extra opportunities. Cause sometimes people are like, oh, brokers usually show up early, so we probably got a good chance to get in there, maybe before the crowd. So some people have that strategy. Be present and ready to engage your visitors. You know, that's something that, you know, you definitely gotta be ready to do. Having conversations right away. Supply kit must-haves. So she says having a sign-in sheet. I know that a lot of people have different concepts, you know, some other, you know, coaches say, don't sign anybody in. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I've always like signed people in for mainly the safety reason too. You know, it's not just the aspect of the leads, right, and stuff, but it's to tell the seller like who came into their home. Well, it said this person was, you know, this person was the one who came in and who registered. Now, do people lie? Yeah, of course they do. You go to Nordstrom's, you walk into the door and you're like, I wanna buy these shoes, you're heading towards the shoes and someone stops you and says, oh, God, can you sign in? We gotta have everyone register, we need your cell, email, name, address, and you're just like, I just want to buy my, like, whoa, right? It's a little bit of feeling like that. But that's the challenge, right? On what they're thinking. But honestly, you know, for a safety reason, and you know, it's, you can tell people say, hi, would you please register, you know, so the seller knows everyone, all, you know, all the strangers who came into the seller's home today. You know, anything along those lines to get someone, what do you say?
I say, can you do me a favor?
Can you do me a favor?
Would you please sign in for the open house? And I will also update you on anything that happens with this house. If you're interested.
Yeah.
The sale of this house, properties, or anything else you're interested in.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. So I'm a believer in it. Getting contacts are great. Sign-in sheets, pens, business cards, flyers. Do not forget taking the flyers out of the box. Do not leave those out there. If you leave those in the box, guaranteed, Eric's laughing.
Because I do that, and every time at the very end, I swear to God, I put it, it was like 2 minutes before the open ended, and I put them back in, and somebody came and grabbed it and left. I'm
And
like,
left.
"Only 1 minute left of the open house, I just put those back
They're
in."
waiting on you.
So now I'm like down to the wire, like.
Don't put them back until you're
People,
leaving.
like, putting whoever the listing, putting all their
Yeah.
belongings back, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna just wait, because every time I put it back up, someone will come in. It looks like I'm breaking down, well, I'll just grab a flyer and head out, I'm like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right away, every time, it never fails, the last minute.
Yeah, have them come in and have them find out about the price and everything, because as soon as they come up and they pull it and they're like, man, this is 900. Oh, they're smoking crack. Yeah, I'm not going in, you know, rather than coming in and go, yes, they're listed at 899,000, but guess what? I just got word from the listing broker, they're reducing the price today, nobody knows this yet. But it's actually gonna be 50,000 off, or you can get a permanent rate buy down and buy this home and get a 4% interest rate. I mean, you missed all of that opportunity to have any conversations or any chance whatsoever to convert. And getting appointments and giving people value. So please take those out of the box. Portable speaker, bottled water, mints, door stops, wipes, air freshener, shoe covers, doormat, and emergency supplies are always a good idea. You should just have a kit. You know, it's a good to go kit box with all the kind of stuff. Probably one other thing on that, toilet paper. Cause some houses are vacant and there's nothing in there, or, you know, and soap, towel. So marketing before the open house, very key, obviously. Getting it scheduled right away when you guys get those open houses for either, if it's for your listing and it's a brand new listing, you are pre-scheduling those open houses before you turn that listing on to active. Because as soon as you have that in there, it hits everybody's accounts all at once. Anybody who has saved searches, you know, property trackers or Redfin or Zillow or anything, Neighborhood Watch or Zip Code Watch or Price Point watches, they all get notified at the exact same time, and immediately it's showing there's an open house. Open houses are the most convenient way for clients to go see a home because it's already open, and especially with buyer brokerage services agreements. Right? Normally you have to have those signed before you go show a house. Right? But open houses, you don't. That's the one place where clients do not have to have one to go visit. So now even more so, it's more important to have them. But as soon as it's scheduled and people see it, that's where it gets the most activity. So we try to always launch listings by Thursdays or Fridays to go live. And then those open houses are already pre-scheduled. Fridays, right, for the twilight, great opportunity. You guys, every single sales meeting, I've been showing the lockbox reports. Fridays have been outpacing Sundays for more activity for lockboxes. So more things are happening, more people are going to, you know, to look, so. Don't forget about the midweek open houses too. Promote on Facebook, Instagram, local print ads, do boost. I mean, that's another key thing. Every single time you end up boosting one of those, you know, promotions, it increases your traffic because people find it. You can ask them, oh, how did you find the open house today? Is anyone asking that right now? You do. What are most people saying?
They found it on Zillow, Redfin. Those are the avenues they usually find it.
A lot, yeah. It's a good idea to ask, and then here's the next thing, the key thing to implement is the door knock. They door knock 100 to 150 homes. There is a company, Shawami, that you can pay, I think it's $125 for 125 doors. And they'll go pick up the print and go do it for you. You guys can't beat that.
Yeah, I've used them. Don't worry.
It'll just drop the flyer off for a
They'll
dollar.
knock 'em.
They go knock them
They
and
knock
hang them
them.
up, hang them on the door knock.
They'll knock
Yeah.
for you.
Yes. Yeah, I have another broker I know that's using it every listing.
Instead of just doing it themselves, they'll
Yeah.
just kind of.
Yep. So if you can do it yourself, obviously there's way more power in that. It's like, you know, knock, knock, knock. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm Eric with John Scott Real Estate. I'm actually hosting your neighbor's house open. I'll be there, you know, tomorrow from, you know, 12 to 2, but 11 to noon is for neighbors only. You know, if you do something like that, you'll get way more engagement and you're getting to meet people. Include or visuals, school information, neighborhood data, the Cloud CMA neighborhood, or you know, the property. If you go to the property tab in Cloud CMA, that will give you all of that information with that listing. And it doesn't matter if it's your listing, you just need the MLS number. And I was name it open house. So you make those packets, it's way more information than what the flyers give you. If you're just handing out the flyer, that's the same one in the box, it pretty much has the same information that they have in their hand already in the apps, right? So you gotta constantly think like, what can I give of value, something different that they're not getting at every other open house? So you should always have that be part of your goal to hand out, and those are great. Those are really good marketing pieces to give. Use full color branded materials. Greeting and registration, scripts, approach with a smile and handshake, use visitor's name, get them to sign in, ask open-ended questions, confirm contact info, and follow-up plans. In your handouts, you do have the information for all of the marketing pieces about what to post. But we do need to talk about follow-up. Follow-up is such a key piece to what you're doing with open houses. If you are just deciding like, I'm not gonna call these people, I'm not gonna follow up. I'm probably just gonna tell you right now, just stop doing open houses then. You're wasting your time. Cause people are never ready until they're ready. And people are always busy. So you really need to continue to follow up until they tell you, stop following up with me. It's funny, having a conversation with one of our top producers. They literally had this person on their mailers for, I think he said 8 or 9 years. Called for events, did, call check-ins, they never talked to them that whole time, never.
They leave a voicemail.
Oh yeah, they leave a voicemail, never talk to them. All of a sudden they said, you know what, let's just take them off our mailing list, like this is like pointless. Took them off the mailing list, the next month they got a phone call from them. And they said, we're ready to sell. And our broker was just shocked, like, what? I took them, I just literally last month took them off because they were never responded, never. And it's just that whole thing again of that energy of, you know what? People aren't ready until they're ready. If you were just constantly following up and you've been constantly, doing the right things, you just gotta stick to it. And just know that they're gonna be ready when they're ready. And don't worry about it. Always use that excuse. Hey, I wouldn't be a good realtor if I didn't just follow up with you. Just turn yourself in, just say that. I'm serious, like that. There's a lot of agents out there. I would not be a good realtor if I didn't follow up. So that's why I'm leaving you a message again, letting you know, hey, yes, that property did sell, it did get multiple offers, but guess what? I have an in on 2 other neighbors that are considering selling in the fall. Let me know if you'd like to get together, talk about it, or if you'd like more information, give me a call. Right? It's like, what can you keep giving? On the same day, follow up with a call, text, or a video. I mean, you gotta do one of them. Honestly, voice to voice, face to face is always the 7th level of communication, the highest level of how you're gonna get engagement. So realistically, that's what you gotta do. If you just like met all these people, they came in, they signed in, 15 people came to the open, you got 13 email addresses, and you just put them into your Engage, you put them into your auto campaigns, right? They're getting housing updates from you. That's the only thing you did. It's still not, that's not enough. You have to go voice to voice. You have to be voice to voice. Your whole goal of doing open houses is what? What's your goal? Nicia, you're doing an open house. What's the goal?
To get an appointment.
Yes. The goal is appointments. How many appointments can I get? Appointments. You're constantly, that is the thing that in real estate you should be just clawing at right now. Like, I've gotta get appointments. That is every single day. It's, can I get an appointment today? What, can I actually get an appointment? Based on what you've learned about them, the people that you met, segment them and put them into the lead management system, which should then automate the cadence and manner of your future follow-up. So if they're A's, B's, or C's, right? A, B's, or C's, this is like the universal kind of language to any CRM. It is like, how do you categorize people? A's are anybody who's ready to buy or sell real estate in the next, 30 to 60 days. They are very, very, active and hot. They need to find something, right? B's are about, they're, over 2 months, maybe they're 3 to 7 months-ish. 3 to 6 months range, they're B's. And then there's the C's that are like, who knows, whenever or never, or maybe they'll be ready in another year or two. Or it's someone that you just never even talked to. Or it's just even like a lead you bought from lists from, your title person. So they should be categorized. Obviously, A's are gonna need more follow-up, faster frequency than the B's and the C's. Never neglect the power of video text messages. When they see your face and hear your voice, you're much more likely to get a response. They say look into BombBomb or AI generation and just record from your camera. Those are, good tips. I know someone that does do video text messages to every single person. And literally does them one at a time. But same day follow-up is so much better. Realistically, if you're already, like, let's say it's Friday and you're not even following up until Monday, you could have already missed 2 opportunities. Because they're looking for somebody to lead them and to help them. They show up to the open house. Most of the time you're having conversations that, that kind of engage their, their thought process of like, how am I gonna make this work? What process are they in? And then from there, you're basically building the bridge to an appointment. Right? You're asking questions, you're getting to, to the root of like what's going on in their lives and what are they doing. Inside Stephanie's handout, she does have a supply kit. There's a good thing in here. So you can use that. But let's talk about the tour itself and guidance and closing questions. Let them tour independently, greet new guests. I think that's the key thing is that when people do come in, it's like, hey, welcome to the open house. Hey, I'm Eric with Charles Scott. Nice to meet you. You are, get names. Would you please sign in? So the seller knows everyone who came into their home today. They sign in and stuff. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and tour. Let me know if you have questions or if there's anything that that you wanted to know about the neighborhood. You basically can keep it that way. It all depends on how much traffic's coming in. When people are lining up, that's where it tends to get harder. I know people love the open house of like, let me get there an hour early. It's all set up, signs are up, I've met the neighbors. Now I'm open for business and the first person just walks right up, right? I mean, you want that timing cadence. And then you walk them through, they're done, then the next person's like lined up. And then you do it again, and then the next person, like you wish it was that. But it's never usually that. It's usually all at once. Or it's nothing until the very last 20 minutes of the open, right? All of a sudden, like it could happen that way too. But you want to always be highlighting the features of the property. And you need to know that. Ask, is this the one, or want to write an offer? Those are specific closing, right, questions that you can ask when there is enough evidence of, the excitement about the property. Have you ever written up your own open house that you sat? Anybody? You have. What happened, Levitt?
They got excited, wrote it up, and then recognized that they were too excited and stepped away.
Oh, but you had it, you got it?
I got it ready to a point,
Oh,
and then they stepped away and reconsidered.
yeah.
It happened.
But did you ever sell them something else?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Yes.
Cool.
In a different neighborhood.
so different neighborhood and closed, done. That's awesome. So it's rare, but it does happen. They do happen. But then again, what is your key? The key, end result that you're always wanting to get from every open
Appointments.
appointments. Suggest nearby homes to visit next. That's definitely something of, how you get people into the next kind of stage when working with them. Knowing the competition around you is gonna be key to every single open house you do. If you have the time and you can actually go preview open houses, if it is your own listing, you better be previewing. And these days, taking your seller with you to go see the competition. That's a very key piece, these days. That will get people to understand what price point they really need to be at. Cause when they walk into a neighbor's house and it's like, they walk in, it's all updated and they're like, my gosh, we were gonna try to list ours for 50 grand more and theirs look like this. They're like, yeah, there's no way we can list for this. You get people to buy into the pricing, right away when you can prove the evidence. Follow-up strategy. So call, text, same day, video messages work best. Stephanie's team, that's what they do. Segment leads, automate action plans, enter contacts into CRM. They use YLOPO for their retargeting. You can do retargeting through your Boost. All you need to do is upload, from Boost, a CSV file of the target you want it to additionally hit. So when you work with Boost, reach out to Nicole. She'll be here, I think that's next week. Oh, she'll be in via Zoom. She was trying to be here in person, but can't, but it's gonna be via Zoom. She's gonna go over Boost. Retargeting is always a key thing that you should be doing with any ads, period. Retargeting is where every single thing you're doing in Boost, like it's a new listing, it's an open house or whatever, your sphere can see every single thing you're doing and they'll serve it into Google ads and they'll keep seeing you. And it'll be funny when the next time you run into them, they'll go, oh my gosh, you're so busy. I see you everywhere. I saw you on an ESPN ad. I saw your open house on the ESPN or on Nordstrom or on wherever. It just constantly serves your ad to them. They don't quite, no, you don't have to tell them, obviously, like, yeah, I put you on this list to get my ads. But that's what retargeting really does, and there's a ton of power in that. Send thank yous. Mega open houses are great. You could do special events with targeted mail and email invites. Doing stuff like that will definitely generate more. It takes more time to do. But the mega open houses are great. If you're doing a mega open houses, I heard one of the coaches said, if you have less than 20 signs, you're failing. You should have 20 signs for a mega, and having those giant feather banners and like other things that are like unique that you don't typically see. So it gets more attention. Create a community buzz, double exposure. What is tomorrow night? Don't say it, Levin. Don't say it. Oh no, it is tonight. My bad. What's tonight? Anybody? Gerwinder? No?
National Night Out?
National Night Out. That's tonight. What does that mean? Ella knows. National Night Out.
It's a big community event in a lot of different cities.
Cities everywhere are having national night outs in their communities. It's huge.
Put the signs out this morning.
You did, didn't you? You guys have a booth?
We have a.
Table?
We are participating, yes.
Yep. So they get together, they invite the firemen, police, and they set up all these different things. But if your own neighborhood does not participate in this, you can actually do this and launch this and get help from state and local government. They have they'll help you with this stuff. I think even financially, if the communities don't have it. So there's a lot of different things you can do, but National Night Out is huge. It's gotten massive play.
RHOA helped us, and we door knocked it last Thursday. I think we door knocked almost 200.
200 doors.
200 doors last Thursday.
Did you wear your name badge and anything?
Yeah,
Yeah, did people have questions about real estate at all when you did it? Couple.
But it was more free and
Yeah.
just inviting, get to know the neighbors.
Yeah, so I guarantee you guys, I know Yvonne's really good. Is she using the winter trips forms, and what are you guys doing?
That part I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know what the whole package is looking like. I know Sunday we went shopping for burgers and hot dogs and all the stuff, and then everybody's encouraged to bring a potluck item for the event.
That's cool.
So
Yeah, it starts at 6 p.m.
6
nationwide,
Yeah,
isn't that
6
the
to 9.
time?
Yep, 6 to 9.
Yeah, every single year, it's always the same time of year, so if you guys are not doing that, oh my goodness, you're missing out. Those are huge. Huge. But you can also, creating the buzz, community buzz gives you that double exposure. Used to the farms listings and recruit future clients. So if you can get that neighborhood's CSV file from your title and escrow person, pay for the lists, you'll get probably, I think, 30 to 40% maybe, or actually it's more like 20 to 40, depending on the neighborhood, of email addresses for them. But you can actually get them on campaigns and stuff too, but those are fantastic. We got to talk about safety, obviously, safety first. Always have an exit plan. This isn't just women, only guys too. Like, there's definitely there's
Oh, yeah.
definitely when you're doing a lot of open houses, you're gonna experience people, the public. And use the buddy system when possible. Avoid entering the house if something feels off. Use code phrases with your team for emergencies. For many years, we've always had everyone say, hey, can you pull the red file? If you call the office and say, pull the red file, that's like an emergency code, or call another co-broker. Like, hey, I'm doing that open house. Can you pull the red file? That means 911, I'm in trouble. I need help. So you call the police, you know what I'm saying? That's literally what you're supposed to do. So Realtors Association has, used that for many years too. And there have been murders, nationally, there have been. So please be safe out there. This is Stephanie's 6 steps moving forward. Door knock 100 homes before each open house, post social video, invite before and after, use virtual assistants to enter contacts. Run neighborhood case study marketing, reintroduce mega open houses, coach accountability and system tracking. So she with her own team does system tracking and accountability on all the leads that they find, but that's a huge piece of the business. Inside your handout, there are some scripts, which are really good. I think that's something that we probably lack on in here. We don't do a lot of the scripting. I think that the more that you can do scripting, it will help, but this is literally came from Stephanie's group. She literally said, welcome, she's a broker with the team. Thank you for coming today. What's your name? It's so great to meet you. Come on in. And then lead them to the sign-in sheet. Do you mind signing in for me? Thank you so much. Okay, when you lead people, in like that, it definitely makes a difference when you lead them to the sign-in. If you use your iPad, you can use that new open house, JLS open house app, and it will actually put your clients straight into engage from the open house, and it keeps track of what open house they visited, which is very key important when, when you're trying to follow up. I knew in our old system, people would just write in open house, and then you like weeks, months later, you're like, yeah, I don't know this person. I don't even know which open house I met them at. I did 15 open houses. So how did you hear about the open house today? Oh, perfect. I'm glad that worked. So it sounds like you live in the area. Where do you live? I love that street. How long have you lived there? Amazing, great, thank you. Looks like your phone number is X. Oh, actually, that's an 8, not a 3. Okay, got it. Glad I asked. And who's your agent? Ask this question exactly like this. It tells you whether they really have an agent or if they're just trying to bluff and push you away. So, okay, got it. Glad I asked. Who is your agent? Who is your agent is way better than are you working with an agent? Because all they have to say is a yes or a no. If you ask them that, who is your agent, they have to say the name. Guaranteed that's a huge piece to trying to figure out, are they really working with someone? Didn't Yvonne actually had someone win the contest for the drawing for trip to Mexico, $4,000 from John L. Scott, won it, and they gave fake names and phone numbers. So literally won the drawing. So it's like, things like that, like, come on. More scripts continued. Sounds like you've been looking for a long time. Actually, no, we're just getting started. Well, you came to the right place to get started. Let's get you looking at the house. So it's like different scripts and stuff like that.
Where's the closet?
There is none. It's in the center island in the resource room.
The flags for
Yep,
listings?
in the bottom.
Flags for listening?
Yep.
Thank you.
Give direction for their tour, but don't accompany them. It's your job to stay at the front and greet the next guest. Determine the route that would be best to reveal the home and give them something to notice or not to miss. So if you walk through the kitchen, you'll find the living room next, then proceed upstairs. Be sure to notice like special home feature, whatever you're trying to get them to see. When you're finished, please come find me, have a cookie, and let me know what you think. So it's a nice thing to kind of bring them back to get questions answered. After their tour, attempt to close. So Levin, you're probably ready to buy this one. Smile as you say this, pause for a laugh. What are your thoughts on the home? So do you want to buy this home? Is this the one? You can say that too. If they want to buy, make a plan to write the offer, confirm their information, make a plan to follow up. They haven't fully filled out the registration, pick up the clipboard, take charge here with a smile. What is your best phone number? Pen to paper, start writing assumptively. Read email address back to them and clarify spelling. So that's always a good thing. You know what, that is a really good thing to kind of touch on because it is true. Whenever you are trying to, fine tune those things, there are a lot of times mistakes where you're like, I can't tell if that's an E or an O. And this doesn't, is that a .com, a .org, .wa, .gov? What is it? .gmail. So, it is a good idea to kind of follow up after people sign in and ask those. I guarantee they're going to get way more, accurate information by doing that. So after the tour, you're agent on this one, and or if you don't want it at the time, will you be paying all cash or financing? So she breaks down everything. Sending them another property, setting up the callback appointment. What are you looking for that this home didn't offer? What did you like about this home? There's another home open on whatever street with this number of beds and baths and has a special feature that you're looking for. The address is, or can you go by now? Use map or area open house list to illustrate the conversation. We are here and this home is here. It is open until whatever time. Here's a list of a few other houses that will help to give you more perspective on the neighborhood. If you have some time, I'd encourage you to go by, X. Here's my card. Please sign in with my name and let them know that I sent you. I'd like to hear what you think about this home. I can call this evening between whatever time and whatever time. Does that work for you? Great. So she's got a lot of different key scripts that are in here. Setups. Let's see. I'm going to touch on that one. They've got days of the open house. Allow yourself plenty of time to prepare. Block out the whole day. This is a full work day. Do your homework, prepare yourself, be present at the open house, follow up after. Dress professionally, same stuff. And then what to the bring? She's got her kit. Open houses are a core business strategy. It is a key piece. When buyers are in the process of buying a home, they typically go through this same stage. It's first and foremost, it's deciding that we wanna buy, we wanna stop renting, or maybe our lease is running out, we gotta figure something else, let's stop burning money, you know? It's basically they get to that point and then immediately, they ask somebody, they ask a friend and they're like, or we gotta get pre-qualified. I think we've drilled it into people's heads so much that most people know you gotta get pre-qualified. So they get pre-qualified, then they talk to the lender and the lender's like, yeah, you can get approved up to 755, looks like, go find it. So they kind of start in that pattern, and then at that point, they start figuring out, well, where do we wanna live? Oh, let's look at there, they start in online, they keep looking, and then they figure that out. And then at that point, they're like, well, we live here, we don't really love this area, but we would love to be here. They do all this process, and it's weeks or a month into the process, then where are they? They're driving, they're finally out looking around in neighborhoods and houses, and they're looking for open houses. So it's literally, you have to remember that when they're walking in that door to the open house, typically, you find this to be true, is that they're down the line in the process. So you're meeting them already down in line in process. Most of the other ways, when you're first meeting someone else, they're like, yeah, I don't, what do we do? You gotta get them down the line, and it's gonna take a month and a half, maybe 2 months. For them to kind of work through the whole process, get a copy of their lease, when does their lease end? They figure out all these things, well, I get a bonus in the summertime, or, that's when they start looking at life change to make a move. So that's why open houses are so good. It's because they're already down the line typically. Consistency leads to predictability and growth. Every single time you keep doing open houses, you're getting better and better at the dialogue and the conversations, aren't you? Eric, how are you feeling now? Like, how many open houses do you think you've totally got now under your belt?
A lot.
You know?
I don't know the exact number, but.
Yeah, I think you should keep track of how many you've done.
But I think with the dialogue, I think it goes back to being showing up on time and being early, because if you're running late and you're scrambling, it's gonna throw your dialogue off, because it's gonna start messing with your head, you're not smooth, you're just
Yeah.
playing catch up that whole time, and by the time you're ready to go, you only have 20 minutes left.
Yeah,
So just showing up on time will impact your dialogue, I feel like.
no, it really does. What about for you, Levin? Because you've been doing the business for how many total years now?
It's going on year 4 now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Getting there early is a big one. Getting your signs out early is also important. That takes away from the actual setup time that you actually have.
right.
So I usually do the signs, at
If your opens from 12 to 2, what time are you already starting?
my signs are usually up by 9.
That's great.
I usually have my signs up by 9 o'clock for the open, so that they capture the first people that are going out for coffee and going to soccer and all that kind of stuff, early morning activities on the weekends.
Yeah,
So I keep them up there, and if I can keep them, I know this is probably wrong, if I can keep them. If I have 2 days in a row, I sometimes.
Go up.
I would keep them up if I'm coming back to the same house the next day.
yeah,
Like, it just depends on the neighborhood.
yeah, you definitely gotta watch on that, sign ordinances and stuff like that.
If I can do it, I try to keep them up in that same, if I can keep up in that same neighborhood, that sometimes works better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things, you're gonna see, you're gonna get consistently better and better, the conversations, you're gonna know that exactly what you've used in your conversation, cause see, what you do is even if you don't wanna believe it or not, you are building your own scripts. Are you not? People walk in and you're automatically okay, so I need to introduce myself, I need to say where I work. I need to say something nice and welcome and hi, put out a hand. You start doing that and that just becomes your habit and that is your script. Even though you're like, well, it's not a script, it's what no, you did build that. That's what you say consistently to everybody. pretty much who comes into the open. So, see, you get more and more polished without even thinking it. Because you just get more comfortable. Follow-up and preparation are everything. Getting the signs, getting there early, doing all those things are such a key piece to what you do. And then again, the follow-up piece. The follow-up piece has got to be the second stage to when the open house is done. If you follow up in that same day, you'll be shocked, like the difference maker of what you are doing to the public when they're coming to see you. Because you are actually engaging, you're telling them what happened. Hey, guess what? We had 16 groups through today. I talked to the listing broker, I gave them the report, they said that one offer is already in. See, when you're doing this, you're giving such a big key piece of the value that most brokers are not doing. I promise you, probably way less than half are even following up. Way less. Majority, I'd say probably be like 80% are putting the people just into a database. Less than half are the ones that are actually calling. Maybe, they're sending an email or a text. But the ones that are doing conversations, I'll bet you it's in that probably 15% window. That's it. So you gotta ask yourself, am I gonna be in that pile of people that, that are only doing the bare minimum? Or am I actually trying to engage and get an appointment with the people I just met? Cause that's the biggest value for you if you're doing open houses. You've got to be taking away the database, building portion, and the follow-up piece of engagement. Cause that is, if you're not gonna do those things, please quit doing open houses. All you're doing is helping the listing broker, if it's not your listing, and the seller. That's really all you're doing. So help yourself and make sure you're doing that follow-up piece. And then treat each open house like it's your next big listing. Treat it like it's your listing. There's a broker in Puyallup. He got into the business and he started doing open houses, and he's just like, he was really good with people. Just wasn't like conquering it, and following up. Wasn't very good about that. But then all of a sudden something clicked. He said, open houses, I'm told open houses are supposed to be this time to this time, on this day or that day. It's like, why can't I do it in different times on different days? So what he started doing is he noticed new construction sites were no different. Every new plat would be the same times as all the other open houses. I'm serious, like it used to be more of a scheduled time from this time to that time. And people would just go to those times. So this broker, many years ago, he called and he went to the listing broker and he said, "Hey Eric, I see that you are the listing broker for this plat, and I noticed that your times that you were open is only 12 to 3 on the weekends. I would like to do something for you in the builder. I would like to hold them open from 3 to 6. And then after when he finally got someone to say yes, he did that, and then he actually said, I'd like to actually hold this open on Thursdays and Fridays from this time to this time also. The next thing you know, this guy's getting all the sales. The builder walks in one day and builder doesn't know him from Adam, and he's like, and he knows he's holding his house. He's like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And he just acts like a buyer. And this broker just blows him away. His marketing material was better than his own agents that he had hosting his main open houses of ones that he had listed on the weekends. So where do you think I'm going with this story? What do you think happened? If he's doing more sales than the team that's representing the builder, and his marketing's way better, what do you think the builder said? I need to hire you.
swapped. Or he just got
Yeah,
on.
the other guy just faded out of the business.
So,
And he did, he got all his accounts. Next thing you know, he got another builder's account. Next thing you got another builder account. Next thing you know, he starts learning about land. Next thing you know, he's selling all land to builders and getting all these listings. Now he's been, I mean, top 1%er for years and years and years and years. But see, he identified a problem and he came up with a solution. But the thing that he started learning about is that not only did he implement that and understand that I'm getting all these open houses and I'm actually like giving value, because what he started doing is giving the reports of all of the other plats. He found out all of their traffic count. He would call them and go, yeah, how many people did you have? After a while, they were like, who are you? You call us every Monday wanting to know our traffic, like, who are you? Are you, you know, so finally he started sharing, but the funny thing was, they were like, can we work with you? He started getting more and more business because he started giving value, and that's the thing that you got to. And he figured out the follow-up is the big key to that too. It's not just that he, you know, saw the problem and he came up with a solution, but he also understood that if I don't follow up, I'm doing this for nothing. And I remember him literally saying that word for word. If I don't follow up, I'm doing all this for nothing. So you've got to make that part of what you do. All right. That is it for today. I know these handouts have got a lot more in depth to Stephanie's kits. And also her follow-up pieces and the scripts and expectations and things that she uses for her entire team. She shared the whole playbook. So if you guys want these, I have extra ones in the office. So for Zoom people, if you did not get one, then you can come on in and get one if there's any left. So anything else for the good of the group? Nothing? All right, well, hopefully you picked up something. Just remember that if you're gonna do the open houses, you might as well not be wasting your time. So you better put follow-up into that main kind of piece of the second part that has to happen right after that open house is over. All right, thank you guys for making it. We will see you on the next one.
Thanks,
Bye,
Eric.
guys.